Welcome to Sad Boyz, a podcast about feelings and other things also. I'm Jarvis.
I'm Jordan. That was like really nice.
Yeah.
We had I don't know how much got kept in. There's we could say it's like a little CO2 alarm.
Yeah. My smoke detector needs battery, but the ceiling I can't reach. I don't have a ladder.
So it's beeping a little bit.
I need to replace.
We needed, for sake of the edit, we needed to get one nice and clean. And I closed my eyes. And I felt like I got like 15 minutes of full processing. I got to think about when we were singing Imagine from memory earlier before the show.
We were singing Imagine. We were singing One More Time by Daft Punk.
I was laughing to myself like while I went to the bathroom about the idea of if the song was Imagine I had a truck. That truck would be so sick.
Do you know about the truck in Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow?
No.
So there's a truck that's like right off of when you get off the SSN. There's a little like pool of water, or there's a body of water, and you can surf off of it on the right side. And there's a little land with a truck on it. And you wouldn't normally have the surf ability at that point in the game. And so there's like lots of urban legends about what happens when you like go to that truck.
Right.
So what you would do is you would like you could like progress the game without going on the SSN, or you could get the appropriate gym badge out of order and then have someone trade you a Pokemon with Surf already on it, and then you could surf off the coast, go approach the truck, and you could see that there's nothing there.
Oh.
And they later, I think in Fire Red and Leaf Green, when they did the Gen 1 remakes, and I think maybe even in the Let's Go games, it's either one of them or both. They made you got like a rare candy or something there, or like a Pokeball.
You should like get the truck.
Yeah.
You should be able to catch the truck.
You should be able to. Pokemon needs vehicles. I think it's time.
Pokemon needs a truck-based Pokemon. We got Trubbish before Truckish.
Well, I guess we did get the first vehicle-based Pokemon in Koraidon and Miraidon.
I want one that's just a truck, and the eyes, it's kind of like Meta from Cars.
So you're just describing a completely different concept of like car-based.
Yeah, but like so there's like a race car too, right?
Okay,
and so
now it's just going to be
there's a race car. He's annoying.
Okay,
that's a big part of it.
Yeah, what's his name? Lightning LaQueen?
No, I think I'd do Lightning McQueen instead. Mm-hmm. But your idea was so idea. Close. I like your idea. I love my idea. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's okay.
And it's called like truck. It's called Cars 2.
Cars 2.
Yeah.
Why 2?
TOO. Because like we have cars. They're also cars. Yeah. And they drive bigger cars.
The cars drive bigger cars?
Yeah. Is there a guy with those guys? Is there like a little guy inside?
A little guy inside of the car?
Yeah.
No, I think they drive themselves. They're autonomous, like Teslas.
Oh, that's the future that we're all in.
Right.
Right, okay.
Like in the future, you'll have a really beat up pickup truck, but it'll be able to drive itself.
Oh, yeah, because we always thought it was in some kind of
by
like...
Larry the Cable Guy.
Oh, the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, the most difficult ways to use. You have to like wake it up. Be like, what are you doing? Oh, sorry, left if you want.
You know what I just realized? Larry the Cable Guy is one of the last names that we have that's like Igor the... kind-hearted.
Larry the Cable Guy.
Larry from Cable Morn.
You have my cable of justice. My cable is yours. Cable sounds just.
My butt crack is long and visible.
Witness me.
Witness me cleaning your pipes.
Witness my accidental entendre. Thou might be a redneck. If him.
Yeah, that's a Jeff of Fox. Jeff of the Foxworthies.
Does Larry do? Larry first name basis. He does Here's Your Son.
No, that's Bill Engvall.
Jesus.
And then the drunk one was Ron White. That is the Infinity Stones of the blue collar comedy tour.
Is Larry the Cable Guy?
Why do I know this? Because
you love him.
Anastasia was laughing.
You asked my question. Like, why does Jarvis know all of them?
A third eye is opening.
Yeah, it's because I used to watch Comedy Central just straight up. Just like whatever was on Comedy Central. And sometimes it would be like Comedy Central specials, and other times it would be Blue Collar Comedy Tour.
Gods of the Rust Belt.
And then it would literally be Bill Engvall doing like a bunch of, it felt like it was a joke book where it was like, here's your sign was
His
always
rocks.
the punchline. And then Ron White, I couldn't tell you a single Ron White joke. He just like shows up and he's just like,
Oh, him being drunk is his thing. Well, yes.
yeah. And then Larry the Cable Guy was like,
International appeal.
Yeah.
Translatable.
And then Jeff Foxworthy was like he's like the self-aware.
He's oddly suave.
He's like the suave, self-aware. I'm a little above it, but I'm still a redneck.
I'm just like you, but I keep my truck clean.
He's like the I've observed the rednecks for many years. I come from them. I speak for them.
Oh,
They
yeah.
have elected me as their leader.
I taught the ape sign language and then
Right,
returned back to the West.
He is the James Franco to the planet of rednecks.
I nearly killed my dad with
Okay.
a.
Hey, come on.
I'm sorry.
That's first on the list, no?
I nearly
It was
killed
coming
my
in
dad.
hot, by the way. Second sentence out of the podcast. I nearly killed my dad.
I nearly killed my dad with a Jeff Foxworthy joke because when I was like,
He's allergic.
I think I was like 7 or 8. We went to the bookstore and for some reason I bought a book of Jeff Foxworthy jokes.
That's what you did.
Nice.
And my dad's driving and I'm in the back seat and I say this joke and I'll remember this joke for the rest of my life. It's if you think Dom Perignon is a mafia boss, you might just be a redneck.
Ah, the redneck mafia.
Oh, like
Dom
Dom
Perignon.
Perignon. Yeah.
And I'm 7. I don't know what Dom Perignon is.
Yeah.
And my dad is laughing so hard that he almost doesn't stop for a red light because he's driving.
All right.
Anastasia, I'm laughing so much from this.
There's a famous. We lost the Library of Alexandria, but fortunately,
What? I
Yeah.
didn't even know he was sick.
Yeah. So fortunately, we do have brainyquote.com to keep track of the words of our forefathers. And so I have here a list of Jeff Foxworthy quotes.
Okay.
If you own a home on sorry, I'm working on it. If you own a home with wheels on it and several cars without, you might just be a redneck. That was pretty good.
Nice. Oh, he embellishes it sometimes with "you might just." Okay.
I
I
think.
didn't know he did that.
I'm going to start reading this one. I have no idea where it's going. It's a big paragraph, and sometimes when I see those, my brain turns off.
Sure.
So I was like, if I read it aloud, I'm going to pay attention.
Yeah, it's like trying to watch a wave.
If you ever start feeling like you have the goofiest, craziest, most dysfunctional family in the world, all you have to do is go to a state fair, because 5 minutes at the fair, you'll be going, you know, we're all right.
It's a lot of
We're
walk.
dang near royalty.
There's a long ass walk to that one.
I know, it wasn't
He's
even a
giving you-
punchline.
I know, he's giving you a lot of like front porching, a lot of narrative. It's almost like a sequel. You have to know the family or something. I like him. He's probably got good opinions.
I don't even know if this is a good Jeff Foxworthy impression. It's really just like
To me.
it's like no one knows Jeff Foxworthy's voice enough.
Having not heard his voice in decades, I think you're doing a good job.
Is he alive?
Yeah.
Oh. I was going to say, because if he wasn't, it's a very bad voice. Because his normal voice would be like,
I used to say that whenever people heard my Southern accent, they always wanted to deduct 100 IQ points. That one's not even a...
Was it the end of it?
Yeah, but it's a quote, so maybe it wasn't even intended to be a joke.
Oh, I was at home by himself. It's poetry.
Yeah, you might be a redneck if you spent more on your pickup truck than your education. I feel like that type of joke needs a little more sauce.
Oh, yeah.
I think a lot of his jokes need more sauce.
Who we met,
Look, who am I?
I've never been jealous, not even when my dad finished the 5th grade a year before I did.
oh.
Wait, is
I
his
thought
dad
he
really
was
young?
Is your dad smart?
No, I think the joke is that his dad's stupid and he was held back. If you got that, you might be a redneck. I almost killed my dad.
with one of my jokes. I told one of Larry the Cable Guy's bits, fucked him up.
What are Larry the Cable Guy jokes?
It's all right. I'm on
Are
it.
you pulling them up?
Oh, no, I got
I gotta
big
pull
involved.
up Ron White jokes.
Yeah, we're all covered. Oh, top 25 by Bill Engvall.
Oh, well, here we go,
76.
dude. Hold on. We found the show.
Finally. We found the
Jeff
show.
Foxworthy is alive. He's 65 years old. Been married to his wife, Pamela Gregg, since 1985.
I shot me a nice deer and I hung it up in the den in my house. My neighbor comes over and says, do you shoot that thing? I said, nope. He ran through the wall and he got stuck. Here's your sign. Wait.
Right,
I thought it was supposed to be, and you think this thing, if you're like this, yeah, here's your sign.
Yeah, wait a second. Here's your sign.
Ran through a wall and got
He doesn't.
stuck.
I feel like Bill Engvall had like
He comes in and he goes, hey, Dad, I'm going to play your song on the piano. I said, hey, great. So I go into where the piano is, and he goes, I'm going to play you a song from Harry Potter. And I said, oh, cool, the movie? He goes, nope, the book. Here's your sign.
Oh.
Wait, what? I don't get. Here's your sign.
is the
Is that just, what an interesting story. And now, wabba lubba dub dub.
This is his catchphrase.
Yeah, what's that thing that Bart says? Like they all go like, say the line, Bart. He goes like,
Eat my
I
shorts,
don't think
don't
I'd
have a
do
cat."
that today. Or whatever
I'm
sign.
Googling, here's your sign, Bill Engvall. I don't get it. But
Help me.
But I will say that when I watched a full Bill Engvall special at some point when I was a child, and I did get it then.
Yeah,
So I
you
think
loved
it's
it.
something he set up.
You were dying laughing.
He set it up, but then it became such a, like it was like, he sets it up at the beginning and then like there's so many different callbacks to it.
I see.
But now I don't,
Is it like, here's your sign that you're stupid?
I think maybe.
I just want to
it's
give
that.
a shout out to all the Bing Ingvall, I keep saying. All of his quotes in here, there's a lot of geography involved. It's a lot of, here's where I was, and here's where I was standing. It was indoor. Exterior, I'm at the State Farm.
I almost wonder if it's like has something to do with sarcasm, because both, it's all like people being sarcastic.
He's being sarcastic, and then his kid, wait.
Is it prefaced with, at some point in the special, but also just kind of as like a linguistic thing?
Yes,
it's
okay,
like,
it is
here's-
sarcastic.
I was joking.
Well, this one's from a bot. It means you've just said or done something that marks you as stupid.
Yeah, okay.
So
And that's
like-
become such a colloquialism now, he doesn't have to
so
do
it's
the...
like, oh, this
And everybody
deer's
get-
on the wall. Did you shoot it? It's like, yeah, dumbass, I shot it.
But
yeah.
but like I don't believe half the people's deers are. I feel like there's so much stolen valor with that shit.
yeah, you can just buy a deer.
Did you shoot that? And he goes like, no, that's the only path that could have happened. Did you forge that sword?
So if someone says here's your sign to you, they're saying you're stupid or you've done something incredibly stupid. So the problem I have with the Harry Potter joke is that I didn't know that his son wasn't being sarcastic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Saying from the movie.
So he's just... Yeah, is he giving his son the sign to be like, no, wait, his son is giving him the...
So I think he's giving his son the sign.
I thought his
Yeah,
son was
because
giving
his
him the
son is
sign.
being...
Well, now his
sarcastic.
son's Uno reversed it. I thought only Bill Engvall could give the sign.
I thought my interpretation of it was like people, maybe he said something and everyone around him is like giving him the sign that he's stupid.
Or maybe I
let's
was
see how
thinking, like in the vein of the Hobbit or Lord of the Rings books, they have lyrics in them that are in-universe songs,
Yeah.
and maybe Harry Potter has one, and the kid's doing the lyrics.
Yeah, I was like,
from that.
Animal Farm has a song in it. Beasts of England, beasts of Ireland, beasts of every land and clime.
It's a nice book.
Hearken to my joyful tidings of the something wintertime, something time.
It's a metaphor.
I don't know. It's
guys.
a metaphor, guys.
You
It's an
do-
allegory.
You know every song.
Every song, that one doesn't even. That one's just words. That one's literally. There's not an Animal Farm movie to my knowledge. There is. For some reason, I was like, maybe Orson Welles made one. It sounds like something he would do.
Orson Welles made.
Well, he made. Of course, he
Other
made. He made the best movie of all time.
Transformers 1. Yeah, Citizen Transformer. I'm out in public and using the phone.
Citizen Bane.
Oh, Rosebud.
It was my sled when I
Or something. You can see me through a back mirror.
Citizen Bane sounds like an early Twitter handle.
That's a college humor sketch.
I was gonna say, it's a college humor sketch. It's a Pete Holmes bit.
Yeah.
It's a Twitter handle from both 2009 and 2024.
Yeah, that's a Reddit user handle as well. I'm out in public and using my phone. I'm in the phone booth. I got my phone in my hands, and a man taps on the glass and says, "You using the phone?" Nope, I'm Superman, and I'm just looking for my costume.
Okay, that one makes sense.
I don't think Superman keeps his costume in the phone booth.
So it's like people asking dumb questions.
Here's your sign,
But he asked the dumb question.
Yeah, I guess.
So then hold on.
My co-host doesn't get involved. Where's the sign?
I'll play you a song from Harry Potter. And I said, oh, cool, the movie? He goes, nope, the book.
His son
Here's your sign.
Yeah, his son signed him.
turning it on him.
Okay.
I would freak the fuck out. I would shove my son. I would start screaming. No.
Question for Jordan. When you were growing up, Jordan, did you think all Americans talk like that? Or like that accent?
Primary influences: Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh,
So
that's
style.
what we talked about. Like,
It's kind of the equivalent, I think, maybe cultural exchange wise, where everyone in the UK is, oh, are you a little orphan, or the Cockney pickpocket, or the Queen? You know, it's like that dynamic, and everyone here forgets about. You don't get any Yorkshire, you don't get any North. You know, there is no like. I had no conception of a Midwest accent. I did not, even if I'd like seen Fargo or something, I just saw that as like a funny American accent. And something I did not anticipate till I moved here is that a lot of people here just like consider themselves to just have an American accent and not a regional. Like people from all over the country will be like, yeah, I never really got a Californian accent. I just have like a normal accent. There is no like in the UK.
Yeah,
that's weird.
There's
to
like
say.
there's like Southern, there's Midwest, there's Californian. I feel like Californian and like Southern are like the ones that are easy to like impersonate.
Yeah, East Coast I didn't consider
then
a
famous
reference.
people.
East Coast was just mafia.
yeah,
I only thought of it that
I guess
way.
like the Jersey Italian American type.
Oh, that
Jersey,
one too.
Boston.
Jersey, Boston. Oh, Jersey
those
and
definitely
Boston.
got put together in my brain.
Oh, they get put together in my brain currently.
I feel like dense, gray
Harvey Dent.
city accent. Harvey Dent. I'm very thick on interior. Oh, I'm strong.
Even in the Midwest, there's like Midwest, then there's like Minnesota.
We're in Minnesota, right?
I'm still trying to figure out where my voice is from.
Minnesota just sound like Canada, right?
Because
Kinda, yeah.
I was listening back to old podcasts of myself because I was sending it to somebody, and I was like, man, I have always sounded like this,
How do you say man?
like a nerd.
Like
Man,
you say it?
Man. Oh, there's like
thought
the
I heard
pin
something.
test as well, where it's like a pin or a pen.
What do you say? Pen?
Well, because like PIN versus PEN, some accents pronounce it exactly the
like
same.
in New Zealand,
Pin.
they would say PIN for pen.
Got a pin.
Got a
Got to pin something to the wall.
Got a pin.
It keeps falling over. I've got to pin it.
Falling all over. I've
Why does it keep falling
Did you
over?
just say I've got a peen?
got a pin.
Got a penis.
I've got a pin.
Look at my tiny penis.
I've got a pin.
Oh,
I've got a pin.
I think of New Zealand as just little Australia. Sometimes I just realized I was defaulting to the Cockney pickpocket idea of
Right.
like the little orphan kid. I was like, I'm just going to. We don't have Brisbane, but we've got our own stuff.
It's yeah, it's like everywhere is equally nuanced, but
Not interested.
no,
thanks.
we're not interested in. I remember the first time that I did my Australian accent for someone, and they told me that I sounded like I was from Toowoomba, and I was like, I don't know where that is, but now it's like
was born and raised there.
where I say I'm from. It's where I say I was born and raised. The Australians, Boy and I did a thing. They started Twitch streaming yesterday, to my knowledge, and
According to sources.
according to sources and Twitter and stuff. I went to their account, and they're like, you know, I couldn't even sub because they're like, just the account's brand new, and I was just like, hey, the boys are streaming or something like that, and they were like locked in on playing the GeoGuessr game that's like for time, for like it's a picture and then it's like the time and place. And then the chat like saw me, and like people were talking to me on the chat. And then Alex leans over and he goes, why is everybody saying Jarvis? And he's like, anyway, I think 1962. Like he like goes back.
They're locked in, dude. First
they were locked
Australian
in.
person on the internet. Exciting for them.
It's big.
We got computers now.
You
This
know,
is cool.
You know something that I still don't understand? I think Boy is the name of them as a group.
Oh, really?
And what Boy
And Boy
ends
Boy.
up being called. But I don't know if it is, because everybody says I did a thing in Boy, but also their group channel is called Boy. Like their Twitch is also Boy official. I thought Alexa had done solo videos on Boy. I don't know the situation. I've never asked.
Maybe they need to call in and
Imagine that they called it.
Defend
explain
yourselves.
themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, right now for them, it's
Nighttime.
right now it's
night-o.
like hella early. It's night
They're doing sleepo.
They're doing sleepo on their beddos.
Got to wake up, have a smoko.
They gotta wake up, have a smoko, have a little brecco,
Bingo board, Australian accent. Ding.
have a little
That was on there, right?
right. There's also the Australian accent that just keeps going up.
I've got something.
Keeps
to
going
tell
up.
you.
It's like the Valley Girl.
What's the most regional you can sound of where you're from? What's like the default?
Good question.
Is there a Gainesville versus Florida, or is it just
No,
it's just
Gainesville.
Florida?
Gainesville is like kind of it's kind of neutral. But because I wasn't really around people who like my immediate, like no one had Southern accents where I was.
Okay.
It was just more like when I was in Georgia, you know, when I was in the Krabs' hometown, you know, like that was the most Southern.
You see, I mean, they're a good example of you hear them hop on the phone with a family member. or
Oh
something.
yeah,
It's right up.
Yeah,
I
everything-
enjoy that.
everything turns into a drawl.
I got something to tell you about nothing, and
Everything
sometimes
turns
something
into
else.
a drawl. Just don't go to.
Honey,
don't-
you ain't even gonna know what I got to tell you about something.
Yeah, I think
Here's your
the
sign.
thing is, the accents that I can do from my past are just like black auntie voices, and I feel like I'm committing a hate crime when I do them.
I'll do it. I'll take a swing.
Nope.
Pick a different race. Oh, I'll try it out. Pick the funniest one. Okay, all right, understood. It's woke has ruined the show.
Yeah, I was saying that. I was thinking that.
Okay, we've talked about Stanley Cups before. Mm-hmm. You remember those? Mm-hmm. So that's like very like consumerist. Like, look at all this little stuff you could buy for your cup of water.
Right. You
Look at
can
this
add to
80-pound
it.
backpack.
Yeah, it's like a transformer. It's modular.
Yeah.
It's a robot in disguise.
Yeah.
You can buy individually wrapped mints.
Yeah, it's like playing Armored Core, operating your mech, putting
Yeah.
new rail guns on it for your dog to
Yeah,
wear.
what's that?
I would buy that Stanley Cup if it
Oh, a
turned
Gundam
into
set.
You know
a
that
Oh.
game? It's a famous old game called Steel Battalion.
Yeah, with like a huge
You
interface.
needed a huge interface. I think it was on Xbox, original Xbox or something.
It was harder than flying a helicopter.
It was like Flight Simulator, but for a mech, and you had like a whole like console that you needed.
Oh my God.
Steel Battalion.
It's
I
like
would love
learning
that.
Klingon, where like it only is functional
Yeah.
in one very specific.
Wow.
God, that's cool.
and people fucked heavy with this.
Dude, what if we started going by the Steel Battalion?
That's
the
a cool
podcast
name.
is-
Cooler than Sad Boyz.
Better than Boy Boy, I'll tell you that much.
Fuck, we can't just every episode we're gonna find a name that's cooler than Sad Boys.
Boy Boy Boy. Boy Boy Girl
No,
Boy.
that's two that are cooler than Sad Boys.
Boy, girl.
Boy Boy Girl Boy.
Boy,
Baby
boys
girl.
and isn't there a pop group called Boys and Girls or Boys Like Girls?
Hey. Oh, the fellas, dude. What a look.
You know, I love Fall Out Boy. I love old Panic at the Disco and stuff. But there is this like kind of funny pop punk thing where like the soundscape, the music is so hardcore sounding. There's like three guitars
Doing a breakdown.
Anyway, I am here to say I love you in a crazy way.
I didn't manage to get my license on the first try.
I've got another test for my broken heart. I think I'm gonna fail, but I have to start.
To drive my truck and it makes me cry.
And it makes me fart.
It is a great era, and it is also like
And it's
Great hair.
We'll never get away. It's like they have like a big like I'm making up all of this sorry, but there's like these, and then oh da 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 ba da 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 da. I ought to fart.
and then like a pre-chorus.
What's another cure for a broken heart?
some, like harmonics and a pre like doing the exact melody of the chorus, and then everyone comes back in, and you on re-listens you realize it is literally a song about like I went to prom but my knees hurt too much to stay for very.
I think what I just realized is that we're perfectly describing 30 Seconds to Mars down to a T.
But that's like still what they're saying.
Yeah. and they're like 50.
I went to a prom, the music was on. It turns
they,
out
like-
a chaperone isn't allowed to dance with the kids.
I found out some disturbing stuff about them, allegedly, perhaps. I don't know. I don't want to repeat it, but there's some videos about some stuff they're up to, and it's not great. Anyway, Anastasia was moving us towards underconsumption core, which is on our list.
I was
Deftly steering us.
I was the little shepherd, the little cattle dog,
were.
nipping at your heels, and then you ran off
Yeah.
into the just.
You're a Sherpa, and I'm an annoying white tourist who thinks I could do better.
Underconsumption core.
Wore the same pair of sneakers every day for 2 years.
Oh,
Guilty.
okay. That's cool.
Lock me up.
I mean, yeah, get your money's worth.
Always using all my products. And okay.
I mean, that's also cool. Nothing wrong with that.
Not
Not
buying-
buying bottles and other packaging just to repackage a product. Learning that not everything needs to be aesthetic.
Sure.
Not buying bottles and other. Wait, sorry. I'm trying to understand that one.
So that one is like
Buying refill for hand soap?
If you have like a beautiful steel hand soap dispenser and you buy bottles to then pour into that.
Oh.
I see. So what I do,
just frugal.
and maybe I'm an under consumer. I'm not. I have too many magic cards to be an under consumer. The shampoos that I buy, I have my bottles, but then I just buy like these refill pouches.
What are they buying to do with it? Because they don't say they're buying.
They're
the
just keeping it
refills.
in the original package.
Oh, which still feels like it's consuming.
Well,
though.
no, yeah, it's less
I feel like-
consuming to
but
buy.
Okay, this is such a specific.
Refill that?
I get it now because they're responding specifically to TikTok trends, like where everyone does like, here's my aesthetic bathroom, and it's like everything is in its own like. It's like it's like when someone has reskinned their phone and all the icons are like different, or they, you know what I mean? It's like that.
I would like stop being friends with someone. It's like legitimately one of the when Shortcuts has to open every time you open an app.
Oh,
Unacceptable.
that's so funny. Well, now because Android has done this pretty seamlessly for many years so I don't want to act like. But iPhone did just start doing theming for stuff. But yes, this reminds me of the Stanley Cup video because they had an individually packaged version of everything.
And they were taking them out and putting them into a different container.
Now, okay,
Just seems efficient.
the thing is, like, if you get a big bottle of something and you can't fit it in your fridge, because my fridge doesn't have a lot of height clearance. So like the fact that they had like poured it into small little bottles for like individual servings, I was like, oh, that makes sense.
So my example is Jacob had mentioned that he used to have a roommate that would buy these very aesthetically pleasing spice containers.
Yeah.
So you have all of these spice containers that look cute on your shelf, but then you're buying a plastic spice container at the store rather than buying like a baggie of spice, you know? So like you're taking a plastic spice container, putting it in another container and then throwing it away.
Yeah.
Instead of buying like a bulk bag of spice.
Right.
Like I
right.
think buying a bulk bag of spice and then putting it
I mean,
into containers.
we're the bulk bastards.
We're bulk bastards. I will never run out of paper towels. I will never run out of my giant black pepper bag that I refilled the good one with.
But that being said, like I'm not a person who is like what is it called? Like waste zero or
Yeah, no, I'm doing it for my convenience.
I'm doing it for convenience because it's like even using paper towels. It's like, why don't you use a hand towel that you individually wash every single time?
Well, there's always something.
Yeah.
We all.
Okay, if I do that, then what do I deliberately put into my neighbor's pipes to punish them for not showing me their katana sword?
right. You've clogged their pipes.
Woke up early this morning, didn't see her. No katana performance across the...
I woke up early to do a Bloomberg draft.
No katana?
No katana.
Katana
Though I have
Maybe
been
one of those little rabbits had one though.
probably. There is a short sword.
Look, haven't watched any more of these yet. I'm operating only on that assumption and the cynicism I have about TikTok people in general and human beings. I think there's a twinge of this that is rooted in it's just a different aesthetic. This aesthetic is buying stuff not to be perfect.
It does just
It's
feel like
hobo
another
chic.
aesthetic.
It's like it's reaction. It's like it's very expensive to dress as a punk, but you're dressing as a punk initially punk style is a reaction to wearing a suit. It's like
or like wearing workwear. It's
Yeah.
like I'll I'll wear Carhartt, but I have the hands of a prince. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I felt targeted.
But I would never like. I'm not doing so to pretend. You know what I mean? I just think it looks nice.
But just as I'm not buying, like, not to say that our path is like any more ethical than if it is just for aesthetics, but like, it's interesting that the emphasis in the video like this is not on like, you'll save a bunch of money. The only alternative to what they're saying here seems to be, well, buy the pre-packaged hand soap. But that's it.
Yeah, well,
Then
I
throw it away
guess
by
we
another
have
one.
to still get the. I don't know like what the full argument is here, so we're gonna have to give everybody their due time.
But yeah, I definitely see how this could be just like promoting a different aesthetic, but I think also part of it, like we should watch like more of these videos, but like also part of it is sort of like the messaging that you don't need to subscribe to a aesthetic. Like
Right. It's a reaction to like because there was the first wave of like Instagram influence and culture where it's like not everything is as it appears on social media. But then now TikTok has like created jobs for people to maintain their aesthetic. So it's like if I become a aesthetic creator, it is now my livelihood to maintain this aesthetic.
It is as it appears, but it's your entire life.
Yeah. And I'm getting paid for it. And the average everyday person is not, you know? So how could it creates a new vector for an unrealizable like standard.
I
of
didn't
living.
just paint a corner of my house beige and get only beige furniture. My house is beige. Everything is beige.
I'm beige.
My kid wears beige. That's some corny shit that's not going away, huh? beige house, beige young
I
parents.
think it will soon.
I don't know. I'm beige. I think I can be the
Once
authority
like
on
Gen Z starts buying houses, and well,
that. Jacob, you're Gen Alpha.
once they start decorating their houses,
Jacob, are you Gen
wherever
Z?
they live.
All of Gen Z collectively wins the lottery.
Yeah,
You are Gen Z, right?
kinda.
Yeah, you're Gen Z.
Don't sound
Yeah.
sad about it.
I'm
Z.
like in the first 2 years of what is considered Gen Z.
You got in on the ground floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats,
You
man.
I
really
sort of
helped
like
them-
set the stage.
Yeah, you really set the stage.
How's it
you
feel
were like,
having a new gen underneath you? You know, like does that
yeah,
feel
Gen
better?
Alpha's coming up.
I don't. Yeah. Oh, Gen Alpha. I don't know anything about them.
They're-
They seem cool.
I think
though.
they're 14 right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't even know anything about them. I don't know anything. This guy, you're lying.
Well, I don't want to
dude.
know too much about them.
I
Jacob's
don't-
friends with these
I
guys.
don't even remember the last time I like. It sounds like I'm trying to like be defensive here, but I generally don't remember the last time I interacted with a child. Like I don't. Like,
Yeah.
I can see why that.
One of my friends.
Jacob's protesting too much.
Yeah.
I don't even have any kids.
Yeah.
What's a kid?
Okay. That would be wild if you had like 4 kids and it just never came up.
That's how I feel about Iffy, because like Iffy has a 8-year-old child.
Yeah, my whole relationship to Iffy is every now and then seeing him and learning something. I'm like, oh, badass. Like being like, oh, what do you lift? Shit, that's a lot of weight. Goddamn.
We were filming something and he was telling me how he needs to cut because he looks too much like an action figure. And that's a very funny problem.
Do you
to
think
have.
part of it's that his arms move on a very specific axis?
Yeah,
and he can
yeah.
be transformed into a white guy.
Oh, that reminds me. I bought this Goku figure that has interchangeable faces and hands. So you can pose him in like all kinds of different poses. Because I saw a video on Instagram of someone using this figure to create an animation that
I
was
was
like
just gonna
so
say
cool.
you should do a stop motion.
I saw someone do it and then I was like, that's so sick.
Dude, you can also just have him stand surrounded by hands and faces to imply that he
The
killed
man
a
of
bunch of other
1,000
guys.
hands. Yeah.
You should do it with that.
Oh yeah. I should put the scary kind of white Jarvis onto Goku's head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I love
Instead
computers.
of being and then I can make Goku the bottle opener instead of me.
And you can use your hands to type.
This is very funny to use. This was for Russell's sister's wedding. They had an artist on like Etsy or something like make a face mold of all of the guests. I think that's a brilliant idea. It's very cool.
It looks like you're on Entourage. Or
This is one of my favorite things that I own, even though I do not think it looks like me.
This is a different man's nose.
It's a
It is a
different-
completely
It is
different.
a-
Different man.
It's a different man.
So, hey, what do we have? So, eyes? No, not really. Like brows? No.
Well, let me give him the same face he's giving.
Yeah, he's got these like big elven ears, you know?
I hate to say it, but like white Jarvis over there like does look more like me.
Should we make a
because
comparison?
it's based on a real like photograph. The model is from Drew Gooden.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
The white Jarvises.
One day I'll have a
Cracker
a
Avengers.
race accurate figure created. All
So
right,
there's a creator I like that works in this space, but her whole thing is like finding dupes and life hacks to save you money, so you're
love
not
that.
buying these name brand specific
love that.
things.
Love that. Because I get recommended things on Instagram that'll be like a perfect solve for my problem, but then I buy the product and it's like I just like a 15-year-old like drop shipped.
It is a
Yeah.
very appealing. Like, I think my worst habit that I've been trying to fight as I get older is the having an issue and going to Amazon to find the product that fixes the issue. It's not that doesn't exist. I bought like a automatic pepper grinder because every time I would buy a pepper grinder, it just sucked. I couldn't get it going. This one works. I like it. I don't feel great in the morning, so I want to get into smoothie making. I buy a little mini tester out a blender instead of a big one. It's great, feeling better. Other times, it'll be like, oh, the trash is always getting full. Oh, they have a trash cuber that I could crush down that I considered buying. I didn't.
Wait, that sounds so interesting.
But it just breaks the bags apparently, and it spills, and like
See,
it's
that's
so.
the
And
thing
then you
is,
have to buy
like,
special
Half
bags.
the time you're buying something that itself will break or doesn't quite
Yeah.
work right, and then it just becomes more trash. But this lady, her name's Nina Poole. Go forward a little bit to when
glass
you
is
see.
raw.
A
I'm very interested in this
vacuum.
dog hair hack.
They get very expensive, especially if you have a very dusty home.
Vacuums?
With dogs and
No,
rabbits.
like lint.
So what I do
okay.
is I go to the 5-quarter store, of course, where else would we go? And I get dryer sheets.
Okay.
And I put the dryer sheet over the fan.
Extra
like this.
filter.
And then I
Oh yeah, shark. That's a good.
click it in there. And now while I'm vacuuming, it smells super good, but this keeps all of the lint and the hair out of the vent, the fan vent, and keeps it nice and clean. And it catches dog hair. I think I already said that. But yeah, this is my hack for cleaning. And I'm going to go finish cleaning my couch now. I just realized in the middle
engineer.
of doing this is something that I do.
I like her.
She's very likable.
She's great. She's like a lot of her stuff too is like fixing your clothes so you don't just throw something away.
This is a much
Let me
nicer.
tell you, I love a real, true life hack after many
I
years.
was just thinking the same.
Yeah.
Boy, do we know. You need to keep dog hair out of your vacuum. Okay, well, first of all, you need a glue gun.
And you need a Coke bottle.
You will need a soldering iron. A
box cutter.
Go on Shark Tank,
Wacky
invent
friend
something.
who has just painted her nails.
And is so hungry for dog hair.
And she just sucks it up.
You get the oven, set it to 9,000 degrees. You need a kiln.
Jordan's feet knocking things over needs to be on the bingo. I can move this out of your splash zone.
Now, does that get picked up on camera, or is it an honor system and I have to admit it?
Oh, I actually don't know.
Because I won't admit it.
De-influencing you from Amazon must-haves feels like a oxymoronic type.
De-influencing you.
Well, because you
and
always see
not.
those like videos and lists of like top 40 Amazon must-haves summer 2024.
Oh, I see. I think because my brain went like, here's the products you need to buy to stop buying products. You know what I mean?
You need a uncredit card. So anytime you purchase something, you swipe it again.
Yeah, like to speak to like the topic of this video, those lists that I for some reason am super susceptible to, where it's like top 30 products you didn't even know you needed. Like
I love those, and
Yeah.
I didn't know I needed it, and then it turns out that I didn't need it.
Yeah.
I didn't
know because
I
don't.
love a gadget.
I love a gadget.
Yeah, but
I love a
she's-
gadget if I can minimize the packaging. I hate packaging. It really stresses me out.
Yeah.
None of the products in this video or videos like this are things that people are actually seeking out. Like, nobody logs on to TikTok or Amazon thinking, I need a
I
self-stain
see
glass.
now. I'm totally misread the. I see now.
De-influencing
you from Amazon must-haves. Yes. So she's just saying that these don't solve a real problem.
It is
Yes.
a weird term. It's like, I will destroy your influence.
It's like she's like a spell breaker. She's like, I
counter.
Yeah, she's like, I've got an orb of protection.
Yeah, I think she's blue type.
Yeah.
But then you see it and you're like, oh, that's a cool gadget. I'll get that. And then you get it. It's like novel. You use it
These are very
twice, and then
funny.
it ends up in the back of your cupboard or in a junk drawer or in the trash or just not being used. So, moral of the story, if it's a product you didn't know you needed, it's probably because you don't actually need it.
Well, you know what's funny about this is that even products that you need still require habit forming, because like one thing that I have been trying to build a habit for ages is rechargeable batteries. Right. I buy rechargeable batteries, I have the charger, I put it somewhere, I start to get in the habit.
You forget to recharge.
I forget to recharge. Then I'm somehow the charger has moved or the batteries have moved, or I don't know which things have regular batteries in them and which things have rechargeable batteries in them. And then like right now, since I moved, I haven't like I lost a lot of my habits since the move. I lost my rechargeable battery thing, and then I know it's somewhere in here, and then I just was like, I need batteries now. So then I bought like regular batteries, and then like the cycle continues, and that happens to me a lot because it's like I have best laid plans when it comes to like changing. I'm gonna like, you know, I use tons of single use plastics. I don't want to. But I'm an imperfect person. I'm like unable to set, like if I was a computer, I would simply change the behavior. I would write the code to do different stuff. But unfortunately, like
You have to do that every single day.
I can't always do the perfect thing that I want to do. And then I succumb to what is easiest and most convenient. I think a lot of people experience
And a lot
that.
of people that struggle with like their skin or something, or any kind of chronic issue, it's not that they don't know the solution or want to get into it. They might buy the box set of skincare, nighttime skincare things, and then they run out the first time and they realize they're supposed to have an ordering cadence. They need to remember to reorder. Once it arrives again, actually my issue with bedtime routine stuff is that my bedtime is unreliable. It's not 10 a.m. time for the routine so that at 11:30 I'll be going to sleep. Instead, it's like, God, I'm so tired. I guess I should do my bedtime routine. Instead of, God, I'm so tired, I'll brush my teeth. That, honestly, the Invisalign lifestyle fucked up my sleep even more so because I can't go to sleep without, I just ate or something. Well, I can't go to bed without putting it on. I gotta activate the habit of putting it on. I know it's easy to speak as old men and be like, come on, we already know this, but a little like how at one point in time, thankfully, social media platforms and YouTube, most notably, started noting when they have ads. Because kids don't get that. They do not understand. We think it's so obvious, but when you say, like, there's a gun box you can order every single month, they think like, oh, I guess just like Jack Septoy fucking loves guns. Like, they literally have no idea. It's easy to, all my instincts want to do is like, yeah, of course, you don't have to do that. But if I was raised exclusively with this being fired into my eyes at all times, with no disclosure, not just for the ads, but also just, I'm kidding, you don't actually need this. It's just like a fun thing. Then I would probably have my mind blown by someone being, you don't need
it. I'm wondering too, because a lot of this stuff, it's hard to see on the TikTok web, but does it have the commission tag?
Oh,
sometimes because there's a commission tag.
Is it obligatory?
There's like a shop tag. Yeah, okay. Because if they're getting it through TikTok, I think.
Oh,
or they're putting the links through.
It's in the TikTok store.
Helicopter.
I mean, I know it's kind of hard to like.
No, it's okay. It's okay. There's landscaping happening outside right now, so if you hear any of that, our apologies. And also, if I'm a little more frazzled, it's my ADHD brain trying to tune that out. And there's also a battery that's low.
There's an AK-47 being fired into the
there's
sky.
a helicopter hovering.
Bank robbery upstairs.
There's FBI going, open up.
You remember my old apartment where that ice cream truck was going 24/7?
It was the most active ice cream truck in the world.
Dude.
What was that active ice cream truck in the world?
Incredible, Jack. You get ice cream when you would.
We had one of those too, and it would stop in front of our house, back at our old place. It would stop in front of our house for like 20 minutes and playing the loudest music you've ever heard.
My dishwasher sings a little song. My Laundry Sings a Little Song.
The
right?
laundry, it like goes on for like a minute.
It goes, the extremely long song. However, once it is played, I now know where my laundry is and that it is done. The ice cream truck doesn't move that much. You play it, let the consumer come. Just play like ice cream, like that.
Yeah.
One
Super
ice
loud.
cream.
Ice cream. Well, do you
Ice
think
cream.
it's a front? Do you think it's like? I feel like.
What if Big Turkey in the Straw has that's the name of that song?
Sorry?
Oh,
The song you were listening.
the song.
What do
I
you
was-
get at the
I-
ice cream truck? I'll take a frozen turkey.
Big
Okay.
Turkey in the Straw has a stranglehold on
The
ice
song
cream
is
trucks.
called Big Turkey at the
Yeah.
Straw.
So for the record, that's what the song is called.
Turkey in the Straw.
So you were saying big as
I
in like
see.
big. Yeah, but okay. So
a tiny turkey.
This is now a YouTube short. So for context, I was just whistling. I'm just gonna do a hum in case the whistling bothers people. Like do 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 do. That and then that's apparently a song called "Turkey in the Straw."
Oh, well, you remember the lyrics. There's a
Turkey in the straw, there's a turkey
Look out
in
for
the straw.
turkey.
Got a turkey in the straw, and it's stuck in the straw.
Someone held the turkey and it's dying and it's dead.
And it's well,
Should have held the
it's-
turkey.
Oh wait, the do 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 straw.
Yeah, they run out.
Its melody originated from British and Irish folk songs. It's your fucking problem.
Yeah, they usually do.
Which had no racial connotations.
Why even mention it?
But the song itself was first performed and gained popularity in American minstrel shows in the 1800s. Wait, hold on. Am I remembering this as a song that ice cream trucks would use?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
No, this is 1 million.
They're playing the
%.
minstrel song?
Well, no racial connotations.
Oh, I had a girl and she was good, but one of her legs was made of wood. Her hair was false and her teeth was too, and there wasn't much for me to do.
This is
Turkey in the straw.
this is Weird Al, proto Weird Al.
Well, they just did those lines, and then a guy sat down and they went, turkey in the straw.
Wait, he said turkey in the straw. Wait,
he
wait,
just
wait.
started doing
Wait,
it.
back up.
For me to do. Turkey in the straw, a turkey in the hay, a turkey in the straw. What did you say? Hey, rolling, twisting up a high tuck claw. Hit it up a tune called Turkey in the Straw.
Of course.
All right, no, I'm coming in. Oh, sorry.
L. Trash. Snare sucks. Mix trash. Poor performances. Ugly guys.
I had a girl. She was good. Well, one of her legs was made of wood.
Which is no. Turkey in the Straw is an American folk song that first gained popularity in the 19th century. Early versions of the song were called.
Oh
Jacob, you say it.
no,
Oh, I say Jacob.
I can't say that.
All right.
But it said the tune originated from British and Irish folk songs.
Oh, wait. It's doing it again.
Yeah, do your balls hang low. I've heard do your balls hang low.
That's a very funny title there at the top.
Do your balls hang low? Do they swing to and fro? Can you tie them in a knot? Can you tie them in a bow? Can you throw them over your shoulder like a continental soldier? That's actually maybe the first
Do
bar
they
I've
do
heard.
that? Do continental soldiers do that?
Can you do the double shuffle when your balls hang low?
I cannot do the double shuffle one. I will admit that.
Interesting.
So we
But also no.
we went around the world with this tune.
For those unsure, the song is called Zip. I don't know why. Well,
I don't know. Wait, now we gotta Google zip lyrics
I
by author unknown. Yeah, the author's known. Ole Miss, you're protecting someone.
don't even know who wrote
No
this.
way.
Is that a frog?
No, sorry. I
Oh,
thought.
oh,
No,
no.
wait. Now open up a new tab. Flubs, FLUBS, and then the Fool, MTG.
It does look like Flubs the Fool. Oh my god! We made a commander of that last night.
Where'd you get it?
The draft. Oh, we bought another booster after the draft,
Oh, okay.
and then they gave us one.
Oh, that makes sense because it's not. It's a promo. It's not in.
It's Katie's one right now.
I actually literally just bought it for $15 on the internet. Okay. Let's work our way back. Pop this off the stack. Back to the track. Zip bars. Oh no.
Oh, it goes right in, huh? What the fuck?
Oh no, I
This is,
need
like,
some.
old.
I need someone to sing this. I can't.
And over
My
double
brain's not
trouble.
gonna. Oh, Zip is a learned scholar. Oh, Zip is a learned scholar. Oh, Zip sings possum up a gum tree in a holler.
Whoa, they hit them all.
Damn.
Possum up a gum tree. Okay.
On a stump, possum up a gum tree. On a stump, possum up a gum tree.
Oh,
on
really
a
hitting
stump.
it.
Den over double trouble. Zip will jump.
Jesus.
That sounds racist.
I know, this doesn't, like, we can't say it.
Does Zip mean fast black guy?
Oh my God, you're right. I thought it was like smart because it kept calling him a scholar.
I don't know if zip means fast in this.
Can we
context.
Google meaning?
I think it's a very specific, like meaning like inner city or something.
Oh, okay. Well, that's better.
Yeah. We should put it. We dubbed her saying inner city.
The song Zip was originally performed by George Washington Dixon in 1834 as a character of a free, urban African American. He was portrayed as a well-dressed dandy who puts on airs and pretended to be above his station. What does above his station mean? Like beyond, like a not a black guy?
Yeah, no, someone who's got nice clothes, putting on airs. You see,
But see, they say
This is such deep American
You guys go
like
hard.
racism.
and I don't know because now it says here on mtsu.edu it says a popular Negro song, and so I'm like, who was? But it's like,
Well,
is it popular in a minstrel?
Okay, you have to be careful with that term in history.
I have to be careful with that.
tread lightly.
Wow.
because back in America, in like a old time America, they would say like, I'm not gonna say that word, but they'll say like black riots. But it doesn't mean the African Americans were rioting.
Well, a riot's like
It means-
it's like a party, right?
No, it means
Click
people
that NPR
were
lyric.
like white people were going in and like
Yeah.
so
Ha! NPR in 2014. Recall that ice cream truck song? We have unpleasant news for you. And the most NPR way. Hello, it's Gorberdly Dixon Wallace, and I'm here from NPR to speak about an unpleasant ice cream truck song.
You're gonna turn up the volume on your phone. I don't match the luffs of anything else you're gonna be listening to. This article is about a virulently racist song. Oh no!
Virulently racist. Wow.
Not one of those casual.
and then
low
first
style.
word in the article.
Okay. Ha ha ha. It says.
I love a watermelon. Ha ha ha.
Merits the distinction of the most racist song title. Is this the one? Wait, what's
Wait, that's
that?
the song title?
It's another song?
Released in March 1916 by Columbia Records is wild. I gotta read this. Okay, so just don't close your eyes, Jordan. Don't read this part where don't read the part that's in quotes. Okay. I was rather curious about a century-old overt racism sounded and slightly amused by the farcical title. When I started the song, the music that tumbled from the speakers was that of the ever-recognizable jingle of the ice cream truck. For the record, not all ice cream trucks play the same song, but a great many of them do. As quickly as it began, the music paused, and this call and response ensued. You n***s quit throwing them bones and come down and get your ice cream. Black men incredulously, ice cream? Yes, ice cream. Colored man's ice cream. Watermelon. I didn't know watermelon thing went back that far. I want to move off of this. Just so
As
we
much as
can
it
wrap
is
up.
in our oeuvre.
It is. ADHD alert. We press a button. We get an easy button that goes, that was ADHD.
And that's what I call a tangent.
Underconsumption is seeing, oh, what shoes are we wearing this fall, come up 20 times on your For You page, and knowing that the shoes we already have will work perfectly fine. Underconsumption is not having
You grew up with those cups?
Yeah, but my mom. That was my mom's coffee cup.
Mocha
but I-
pot.
It's
Well, Cuban coffee cup.
yeah, Cubans love those.
But instead, purchasing a new one when your previous one breaks and knowing that you'll be able to use this for years to come. Underconsumption is not feeling pressured to buy an espresso machine, a milk steamer, a milk frother when you've never even tried making coffee at home. Underconsumption core is really just an alternative name for living under the poverty line and living in the lower class. It doesn't mean you're poor. You shouldn't be spending any money.
Wait,
on
that doesn't
anything
have
that
to be what
isn't-
it means.
Yeah, I don't know if I
Hop back
agree
for
with
a second?
that.
Yeah, wait, that one.
Wait, run it back.
Yeah, what did she say?
She was like, underconsumption core is another word for living below the poverty line.
Coffee at home. Underconsumption core is really just an alternative name for living under the poverty line and living in the lower class.
Like, I don't...
There's other factors at play.
Yeah.
Maybe she's saying that people are using that term. I mean, I'm giving her a lot of.
Well, I want to give her the benefit of the doubt
Yeah.
in grace, but it's giving too much credit to the overconsumption people to be like, oh, it's for the rich and the wealthy and all that. It's like that. It is enough to critique that argument of overconsumption on its merits, and it doesn't have to be like a classist thing.
Yeah. Also, it's.
But I mean, there is elements of classism to it. I just wouldn't describe underconsumption as poverty stuff.
I mean, if you are as
there's
they
overlap.
say, when they say you are living below your means, that is, mechanically speaking, the same as putting more into savings than you would normally, right? Now, if
you
someone
can
said to
afford
me,
to do
putting
savings.
more into savings, I'm lower class because I put more in savings. No.
Right.
that's-
It's like the fact that you have savings to begin with or whatever, yeah.
Being, quote, below your means in this case, being lower class, well, I'd say working class, I'm just using the terms they're using, that is your means. That's not like, it's not another word for that. It assumes like a middle class as normal class.
I can't tell if she's saying like people are saying it's cool to do this when that's just people in working class households do.
Right, because
But
it's not, yeah.
I disagree with that in the sense that you're saying people in working class households don't use disposable water bottles, like plastic water bottles. That's just not true because I know lots of people in my family who are, lower and working class who they're like, I don't give a shit. I'm not going to buy a reusable water bottle.
This is not like, to be clear, there isn't just like this natural diligence and financial education that comes with being below the poverty line. They don't give you like a pamphlet that's like, well, also, if you hit this amount of household income, make sure you don't buy water bottles in bulk. Buy the bigger ones by themselves. It's like a lot of the systems in place are deliberately obscure to keep people thinking that they're poor because of a meritocracy. They should be working hard. They should be doing something. These are... I don't know. Not too much throw at this girl. It's just a bad,
it's not
bad
her
understanding.
I
but
think
there is something.
I could also be misunderstanding. But what's really interesting about the water bottle thing is that when I was growing up, I had a disabled mom, and we just like lived off of her Social Security checks. I didn't have a water bottle. I just drank from the water fountain.
Yeah, because that's
you
what
know
they
what I
mean.
mean.
They're talking about a water bottle, right? Not like plastic bottles.
Yeah, and then when I went to high school, I similar to like wearing Abercrombie and Fitch and stuff as like a class indicator. A class indicator for me was a Nalgene water bottle.
I think
is that like a brand?
Yeah, it's like a reusable
If you like
plastic.
search up Nalgene,
I do think
NAGL, yeah, you know.
nowadays though, there
Like
are
these this was the what are they called? What's the type of water bottle right now that we're talking about?
Stanley.
Like this was the Stanley Cup of our day, of my day.
I think nowadays though there aren't drinking fountains.
Oh.
Like my niece and nephew
It's like COVID or something?
when
Yeah.
they were in high school, they didn't have drinking fountains
Oh,
because
that's
they're
crazy.
considered unsanitary.
It
so
makes
you
sense.
have to have a water bottle.
We didn't have drinking fountains, but I kind of never saw drinking fountains anywhere. I think that just wasn't like the same. They exist, but just infrastructure-wise, there just weren't many of them.
Dude,
at school.
I spent so much time of my youth huddled over like a drinking fountain that didn't have a high enough water pressure.
Yeah.
So it was just like limping out the water a little bit. And I had to almost put my mouth on it to like
it's
drink
like
from
when you
it.
try and drink water upside down to get rid of like the
Yeah,
hiccups.
yeah,
or something.
yeah.
Do you have don't drink tap water type? Because we
Well,
just
no,
all drank tap water.
when I was
Oh,
a
at
kid-
school and stuff.
Yeah,
like
at
there wasn't a
school.
way to there wasn't like a tap at school.
Oh, I mean like the bathroom or something.
Oh no, we wouldn't go to the it was like a
there
separate
was like
thing.
a drinking fountain like in the hallway.
That's what I'm
or
curious
something.
about was because it's like we didn't have the drinking fountains, but we never even thought about it because it's like, yeah, I just go to the bathroom.
Oh, and then you fill up a water bottle or whatever.
Yeah, like
yeah. It's like I just didn't
just
have
drink out of it.
Have a water bottle,
Yeah,
or just
when
like
I
put your
was a
head
kid,
under. Yeah,
like a huge part of my elementary school was waiting in line for the drinking fountain when you're at recess.
And
or
everyone
whatever.
would chant 1, 2. That's enough for you.
Yeah, or we would
Yeah.
be like, save some for the whales.
that was.
the
Oh, I
comment.
forgot about that.
Hey,
yeah.
no blacks. Right?
That,
was like
that was
No,
that was a little
I-
before our time, I
was-
think.
That's my order.
Yeah.
Underconsumption is being financially responsible with your purchases, recognizing what you already have at home, repurposing items in different ways than they were intended. Me presenting a viable option for people who can no longer afford to go out and buy coffee every day is not promoting overconsumption. Being an underconsumption core queen does not mean that you're never allowed to buy anything else, but it means only buy it if you need it. Only buy it if it can save you some money in the long run. Only buy.
Well, also, like, I think you're allowed. I mean, everyone's situation's different, but like, you're allowed to have. I think a lot of it's just about not spending money unnecessarily, but
It's like the reverse of lifestyle inflation. When you get more income, it's okay to acknowledge that, like, okay, well, now I have the income. I'm not inflating my expenses. I'm not getting like a new apartment, so I can buy a TV. It's not like, nope, you cannot ever buy a TV because TV is not essential. And like, I also think it's kind of it is telling that the term is underconsumption core. That is where the
Yeah.
aesthetic coding
well, it's
comes
like I
into
just
me.
remember, like, so the year I got an iPod, it was the only thing I wanted. And it was like a combination birthday and Christmas gift. And my birthday and Christmas are 6 months apart. So it's like
which one did you
7
get?
months apart.
Shuffle?
The first iPod video. And so once I had it, because that was like the thing that everybody had that I really wanted, right? And so then once I had it, I did not have money songs were $1 each. It was pre like Spotify. It
was a wild
and
time.
streaming. And so I would pirate things, but we didn't have fast internet. We had dial up. So it would take like hours to download like a 3-minute song. So then I would go to the library and check out CDs and then rip those CDs onto my iPod. And then I would also get friends at school to like burn CDs for me. And so sometimes me getting music would be paying for like a spindle of blank CDs and then getting someone to like to burn them for me. Also, because I was like a little tech guy, I got like a hand-me-down computer, a very, very old computer when I was quite young that we got either for cheap from someone's office closing or something like that. It was like a very bad, shitty computer. But it was what I had. And I would sometimes go to my aunt's and she had a printer, and that's where I actually found in storage the other day, maybe I've shown it to you, the binder that I made where I printed out. I used to go to my aunt's house and she had a printer and decent internet, and I'd print out Dragon Ball Z images and put them in sleeves. And so I have a binder of
I don't
just
think I've
images.
seen it, but you've mentioned it to
Okay,
me.
I have it. I know where it is in
Nice. storage.
storage. I'll bring it next time. And you could see like all the images I printed out. But but I was always a tinkerer, and I always spent time on the computer because it was like I could go places and do things that I couldn't do in the real world because I couldn't like afford to do all these things. But anyway, Russell's family, they were doing pretty well for themselves. And one thing that I did when I went over to his place is I found out how like the iPod stores media. And basically I connected his iPod and my iPod to his computer, and they obfuscate it where like all of the media file names were like FKGM, and then it would be like the song When You Were Young by the Killers or whatever, .mp3. And I like found all those files and I just mass dragged them into my iPod, and it knew all the metadata once it was on the iPod. And then some of the videos and files were DRM protected. So like there are episodes of The Office that I had on my iPod that were from his account that I couldn't watch because I didn't pay for them. But then a lot of the music I still could listen to. And that was like the holy grail, was just, so a lot of the music I had was literally just like shit that Russell had on his iPod, because it was, and then I would start doing that to people. I'd be like, hey, if like I was in a place with somebody's iPod and a computer, I'd be like, hey, can I
This
Can
sounds
I
crazy.
steal your music?
I
copy it. Can I just copy your music onto my music?
I was not a gadgetry tinkerman. I was, more suave than that. I was jacked. I was cool, etc. But when I got my very first, I was kidding around, man. Fucking loser. I was the only phone number I remembered as a kid on a little rotary phone. I would call him up, and my uncle had recommended I don't sync as soon as I got this iPod, that I don't sync it. Because I'd gotten it from them, hand-me-down from them. And he's like, don't sync it to your computer. Do you have any friends that have a lot of music? And so I went over, I synced to their computer.
Yeah, that was real. Because you couldn't, if you did it through the thing, then it would just overwrite the music with whoever's account.
I was so much of age, 10 through 12 or something, was me going I'll give him a fake name, but hey, Jason, what are you I left something at your house. You know what? Screw it. While I'm here, I will take half an episode of the audio only of the Bart episode where he tries to divorce his family.
I did so much pirating when I was younger. Once, when I would, statute of limitations was out. Whenever I would go over to my aunt's place, who had a nicer computer and internet, I had so many torrents running, and they would take days. Even with the decent download speed, it would take days for stuff to download. But I had just so many going that it finally got through. One thing I also realized, this is just now we're just sharing stories. So it's not I'm not trying to defend, or I'm not trying to say no, I really was poor growing up or whatever. But one thing that was kind of crazy, and it's a shout out to my mom who passed when I was 11. I've talked about that before. But one kind of interesting thing was that I didn't know the extent to which, we didn't have money, because she kind of always got me stuff I wanted. Sure, I would get it later and stuff like that. But
you don't have a conception of how what would you don't know a color you've never seen, right?
Yeah, and it's obviously I had friends on the street who had some stuff, but I would just go play theirs, and I'd be I'll get mine eventually. I got an N64 really late, and then I just played the shit out of my Game Boy and shit like that. But one thing I noticed was that after my mom died, I found out that, so I probably mentioned this before, but a lot of the stuff that she bought was through Finger Hut magazine, which was it's kind of like Klarna and those things now where you can pay in installments, but you end up paying way more money. So in order to get me the things that I wanted, she actually went into immense debt to buy, we did not have the money, but we had the minimum payments. So there was just this big, racking up debt of an N64, a Game Boy over years and years. Cause it wasn't I got a bunch of things. It was this year I got an N64. This year I got, a Kiwi green Game Boy Color with Pokemon Yellow. This year I got
respect.
I remember, this is not my original Game Boy Advance, but I remember going to the bank with my mom and her this was marked down to $89.99, and we went into a Target or something, and I remember her going to the bank and getting the cash out and me just seeing the interactions happen, and it was the best day of my life. But anyway, why did I say all of this? Because I don't know what happened. I don't know who paid that debt, because I don't know who it went to.
Yeah, I don't know what happens. If you max out a bunch of credit cards and then die, what happens?
I'm sure it somehow gets to your because there's this concept of buying debt, and you can buy debt for cheaper than it costs, because then you have to go do the collecting.
Yeah.
And there's a very there's a real business there that's maybe amongst the scummiest, scariest businesses around, because you're just hounding poor people for money that
you're
they
a
don't
fucking
have.
bounty hunter. It is.
This is a huge plot point in the last season of Fargo. Oh. And it's really interesting
yes.
how they work it into the plot.
And
it's also I feel we get a lot of these practices and a lot of cultural behaviors like this are camouflaged by shouldn't have gone to debt. You know,
Yeah.
you made the promise.
You were the one who was irresponsible. It's like, I wanted to get a Christmas present for my son.
There's a
Oh yeah,
joke.
dude! Shout out to Walmart layaway
Yeah.
program. There were things that were like,
My mom was like the queen of layaway. They all knew her there.
yeah, it would. I just like had this concept of like my Christmas present for the last 6 months has been sitting in a warehouse somewhere in a Walmart in the back rooms of a Walmart, getting paid for like
In installments.
in installments. Yeah,
Is that how they would like?
It's
The
like
closest I can think is like Argos for us. I don't know what like
what
the
it is
process
like
was.
most stores at the time, I don't know if they do this anymore. You would say, I'm going to buy this on layaway, and they would put it in the back storage for you, and then you would make payments on it. And then when you finally finished paying it off, but at an increased
like a battle pass.
amount,
Oh, okay, right.
But you don't get it until you're finished.
you
paying.
don't get
until
it until you finish paying
So
it off.
nowadays,
Oh, the tension, the anxiety.
So
Fuck.
it's like it was a little. It was still. It's one of those things where it's expensive to be poor.
Yes.
Because it's more expensive if you don't have the capital right now.
and it's
know what I
beneficial
mean?
to the lenders.
And
too.
it's beneficial to the
Well,
lenders.
and think about how many people never paid it off, and they just get to keep that money that you paid towards it.
Right. And so it's just one of those. It's one of those things where it's expensive to be poor. If you have the capital, you just pay upfront and then easy peasy. But the debt thing is like when you're buying debt, because I know you all want to go into business as debt collectors.
More of a Pinkerton.
It is cheaper than the amount because a lot of the debt is uncollectible because people died, people whatever. And then similarly to it's like if you go on the dark web, not that I've done this. No, but I watch a lot of like true crime stuff, and if like you go on the dark web and buy like stolen credit cards, you get them for so cheap. Stolen Uber accounts, stolen credit cards, all that stuff. You get them for so cheap because the risk is so high that your odds are that you're not going to be able to, like the expected value is about, like it might cost you, I don't know the actual economy of this because I'm not a scammer, but it might cost you $1 to get someone's credit card with a $100 limit on it.
Well, yeah, because they acquire it, give it out to like 20 or so buyers. You go and acquire something under the credit limit that would like notify Wells Fargo, cut it up, and now you have like 40 TCL TVs that aren't noticeably expensive, put them in a warehouse, sell them at half the cost.
Yeah, exactly. And so like I've had some sketchy Facebook Marketplace buys where I'm like, where'd you get this? I bought a rug that we don't use anymore, but I bought a carpet and it was like a West Elm carpet, but it was like really cheap and I love a deal. And then the guy showed up and he was like, and there's a million reasons because like things are just hard to get rid of. So with things that are like bulky, I understand why people would give it away for cheaper. But then he was like, yeah, let me know if you're looking for anything else. We have a warehouse. And I was like, you have a warehouse of West Elm products? And I'm like, but you're not West Elm.
Famously
You're like
expensive,
a guy.
middle kind of expense.
Yeah.
furniture store.
You're like a guy. And he's like, yeah, me and my brother have it. Or it's in our garage. And I was like, so maybe you got this wholesale.
There are legal ways, but it's also like so sketchy.
Yeah.
There's a good show
When I
about
bought this chair,
Yeah.
there were other, I bought this Herman Miller chair, and Herman Miller is a very, very expensive chair brand. And I am in a position where I could afford to buy it new, and there's a part of me that still is like that would physically hurt me to do so. So I like bought a color that's like kind of a weird color. It's like hard to sell. It's used. It's a little bit broken. I need to get it fixed, but it still has all of the, all of the bells and whistles or whatever. And I bought it, I think, from a guy who's like, oh, it's just been sitting in the garage. But when I was looking for those chairs, there were multiple people who had photos of garages full of them. And my assumption was that they just did an office wholesale, like office closure wholesale buys.
Were they selling them in bulk?
No.
Because I don't think I'd include that photo.
I know, I agree.
Oh, here's the truck I found them on, and here's the corpse of the guy that tried to stop me.
Yeah. Let's say he's bald. He's Agent 47.
He's got a silver ball of pistols.
One final thought about what this lady is saying. I do feel like, going back to this idea of shaming people or making people feel bad for not doing everything you can to be zero waste or whatever. I feel like she's doing a little bit of that, where she's like, this is what this means, and like you
Yeah.
need to.
There's some
reading into
profound
it.
element to it.
Yeah.
Can we look at the comments on that?
So they're like when a Jubilee video ends and everyone's like, it's actually about racism. No,
Yeah.
it's not. It's a fun little game.
And then, it's a lot of people commiserating in the fact that it's like hard to live under the oppressive machine of capitalism.
Like, I would love to make my coffee every morning in that little mocha pot.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm running late and I'm on my way over here and I buy coffee at the cafe. And also I like supporting my cafes,
Yeah.
my
I mean,
little local cafes.
well, it's like even when we're like for us, it's like, oh, we just did a Phil's order and it's like it's a business expense. And it's also like I would love to make everybody coffee, but like I've got an appointment and all these
and
things.
that's the like lifestyle inflation is negative connotation, but like if you're being frugal about certain things and you're budgeting efficiently, you know what your surplus is, and you say, well, quality of life will benefit from this thing.
Yeah.
And maybe you're not going to buy the 65-inch TV, but I'll buy the 30-inch TV. It doesn't mean you cannot get a TV. It just means that you're like
it's
maybe,
that balancing act.
I've been so fortunate that my lifestyle has mostly kept up with my mental illness and lack of executive function. Because, I mean, and who's to say it will continue, but it's hard out here sometimes. Hey, hashtag Sad Boyz.
The primary source of the bad habit of my like, I need to solve a problem, go to Amazon, is the like, okay, well, I've budgeted it and I'm not functioning. I should be able to fix this in an easy way, but nope, I need a different kind of Clorox wipe. This won't do it.
I need my little helper thing that's going to help me get back on track for a good habit. Like I want to, I've been drinking too much soda. I want to get back to drinking water. Well, if I get like some liquid IV packets, they'll like help me get back to like hydrating regular with water, and I'll stop. Cause I found myself recently, I got like kind of addicted to soda again. And part of it is just that like your brain is so conditioned for the taste and the sugar and the dopamine hit or whatever it is, whatever neurotransmitter is happening, that I like think I need it. And
Well,
then,
and it becomes almost like what's the word? Like a routine.
yeah, when I feel this way, now I need to,
Even hearing that thing about like, you don't need to buy this.
Yeah, I like
pleasant
the sentiment of it is
soap dispenser or whatever. And when I hear that, I go like,
It's great.
Oh, well, yeah, of course you don't. I didn't realize that the emphasis on beige chic and aesthetics was so pervasive that people watching this would go like, oh, I don't have to do that. Like that's my naivety as to how.
That's the thing is there was a
overloaded they are.
swing hard in the consumerist aesthetic direction. Now there's a swing hard
Yes.
in the opposite
And that's
direction.
good.
And it's like, yeah, I guess that creates balance. But just you're fine if you're somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, and many people are, but there's always going to be people on the extremes. But then also, like, as you know, creators and people who like thrive in a ad-based economy, say for our patreon.com/sadboyz, always be plugging.
Discretionary spending only, no obligation.
Exactly, no obligation. It's like ads make the world go round, unfortunately. Like, you know, everything free more or less is ad supported or supported by something worse, you know? And that's just kind of the situation we live in. And, you know, it's like I do and continue to do, and we will do on this show more ad spots. And, you know, when you see those things, like, know that someone is paying for a billboard, and it's not like no product is ever going to like solve your problems. There's no silver bullets. And even when I was saying like, even things that are objectively like good still involve and require lifestyle habits and things like that to truly benefit from them. So like, even if I was to start making coffee at home every day, which I do make coffee at home a lot every day, there's still like, well, if I wasn't in the routine, I'd have to build that routine. And so all that's to say, we just launched new merch.
Yeah. Anastasia, did you say when's it coming out? How much? Like, where should I get it?
August 9th.
It'll be linked in the description in future episodes, but maybe even this one.
We have some these are very tasteful.
Yeah, do you want to show the
sweaters.
back off for this? Is
Because of my huge muscular back.
We've got sensitive content crew, and then we've got sensitive content. You get it? Because Sad Boyz, it's like it's content, but it's sensitive. We got sensitive content sweatpants. And we've also got some shirts that maybe you've seen us wear before. It's, a product that's not going to change your life, but it's comfortable. It's comfort colors.
Yeah. If a friend wants to sell one secondhand to you, fine. Do it. It's fire away.
Yeah. I see some of my old merch sometimes on like Depop or like places like that, and I'm like, hell yeah! If I see it at the thrift store, at the Goodwill or whatever, hell yeah! Like reuse.
I'm taking that back.
Yeah.
Hey, excuse me, ma'am. This is mine. Exclusive colorway on Patreon.
Yeah. So we are going to be. So for the shirt, Anastasia, would you mind handing me that? We should probably ask Warren James for the exclusive colorway so that we can have it in person, in a bunch of them, because I think it's cool. So this is the black shirt. It's got a different graphic than the cream one, but the back graphic is the same, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. These are comfort color shirts. There is a cream. There's a black, kind of off black charcoal color, and then also there is a Patreon exclusive color that you can get if you're a subscriber on our Patreon, which you can do for as low as $5 a month. Those patrons will also get their entire first month of patronage subsidized because we're going to have a $5 off coupon code. And
you can just listen to all the episodes and then unsubscribe.
And you can listen to all the episodes and unsubscribe. The extra content is not required, especially like merch and things like that. I never want to feel like I'm like, you've got to get the Jake Paul merch, like that.
No, yeah, I've always wanted to do merch, and that's the priority. It's the excitement
and it's
of like
something I have not stopped wearing for the last week. And
it's fun to design something that you're like, I like this and I want to wear
Dude,
it.
Exactly.
It feels really, as we all know, very sunny right now. I am still the scalp tanning bastard. Getting there.
Looking
Yeah, you look
nice.
very even toned.
The line is gone, which is a huge dub.
Mine, I still got one. I can't get rid of it because of the hair.
There is.
I can't buzz cut. It'll just get, then I'll Carol go back, then boom, new problem.
And you stole it from me. A buzz cut. The first guy to do it.
To infinity and beyond.
Come on, mate.
That was Buzz.
Oh, come on, mate.
Inventor of the buzz cut.
It is very, very sunny.
Cut that, I got it.
Thanks.
Sorry, I need to shout out to all the people who were like, Jordan said the funniest thing in the world and no one even heard it.
Do we have to remove that from the bingo board? Or is that on there?
It's
Or
not on
the
there.
bingo board that
count.
says, Jordan says the funniest thing ever.
Cute.
My fave
Jacked.
did the best joke. No one paid him attention.
Hog
My
Best
Jacked.
king.
mustache.
Best mustache.
Actually, let's put that on there. Yeah, screw it.
There's one square that says it's packed with words. Jordan is funniest.
I can't read it. It's
coolest.
so
Right.
It's a lot.
It's a free square. It's the
something. Someone
like
says something.
Someone says something.
But it's very sunny right now, and I like me. I like a little dad cap. So I've been wearing the new dad cap a little bit. I like the sweatpants. I'm very comfortable wearing the sweatpants, and I literally have to go no, I have to choose one. I cannot go out in 3 pieces of my own merchandise to
I
go
did
and get
You
yesterday.
can and you should.
I did
actually.
yesterday. Or I guess I was wearing 2. I was wearing the shirt and the sweatpants.
And if someone goes, sensitive content, what's that? You go, actually, it's my merch.
I go, don't talk to me.
I do.
I am the patron here. I owe nothing to you. Be
Yeah.
gone, wench.
Wow, how parasocial me to the barista.
Yikes, honey.
They're like, order for Jarvis. I'm like, relax. We're in public.
Yeah, we're not there yet, hon.
Yeah.
Jeez. Asking if they want a photo.
But yeah, so in keeping with the theme of today's episode, we are going to keep the good times rolling over on patreon.com/sadboyz, where you can watch Sad Boyz Nightz, our Patreon exclusive podcast, over 70 episodes so far, on average, like an hour in length. Sometimes we go short, sometimes we go long. And today we're going to look at, on the consumerist trend, we're going to look at some old commercials.
And now that we have received the feedback, the previous night's episode, we did get a lot of confrontational, constructive feedback. And if you two would like to also join us,
yeah, you can join the discussion over there. You'll get to see what is simultaneously getting Jordan canceled by a certain community, and then also many people commenting that it's the funniest episode of Sad Boyz Nightz that they've ever seen.
We are being embraced by they hated Jesus. Like,
okay,
no genius is appreciated in their own time. You know what I mean?
And yeah, so with that, we bid you farewell. We end every episode of Sad Boyz with a particular phrase.
Oh, we love you.
Oh, and we're sorry.
Sorry.
All right, I'm gonna lie down now. Let's watch old commercials.
Another day, another hope. Is it pizza? Another sandwich. Oh. We got the hint. Presenting Lunchables Pizza. 3 real crusts with all the toppings. Fun
Okay,
to
this
make and
is
eat.
fire.
No need to
This is.
eat.
I
Have you ever
wanted
had
this
this, Jordan?
so bad when I was a kid, and my mom was like, "No, those are crazy expensive."
They would never. No, my mum would never buy the packs things.
It's still a thing, and I have eaten it as an adult, maybe within the last calendar year.
Gucci girl, how you doing? How you moving, girl? Moving, girl. How's your day looking? That future girl, yeah, we on now. Take my money, go away, all you want it.
Girl, too rich for me.